Hey gamers, welcome back to Uncharted 3. This is chapter 21. We are on the penultimate chapter of the game. A very frustrating chapter. Another one of those chapters where I nearly threw my controller across at the screen. I was getting very frustrated with it. No, there are two sections where that did it for me, and I'll show you where they are. But before we get to our frustration, let's go pick up a treasure. I believe this is going to be number 95. Instead of going to the right, we're going to pop to the left. And instead of falling down those stairs to our death, we are going to go pick up treasure number 95. And then we're going to go down the stairs to the right, but before triggering that cutscene, we're going to jump into this little room which has the bath in it and pick up treasure number 96. There's going to be a cutscene right here, which I'm going to let play out, and I'll see you on the other side.
Incredible. This is how the city could thrive all the way out here. The whole place must be fed by an underground spring. It's clean. It's amazing it's still running after all these years. Now that's a hell of a thing. What? No. No. Please. Sully.
Alright, that was a pretty dramatic scene. You can clearly tell that there's some funky business going on. So, you can try and kill these enemies before you pick up the treasure, but for some reason I just decided to go ahead and pick up that treasure. So this is number 97 right here in this corner. Now these enemies are very, very frustrating because they basically have double lives. So I end up dying, and I'll show you exactly how it worked out for me at the end, but it was not easy, not a pretty sight, but yeah, not only do they have double lives, but then they can start kind of teleporting across, and that makes it very frustrating. I think what I end up doing here, if I remember correctly, burn through my bullets on that one, but then there is an M32 grenade launcher. So I would definitely recommend that. I think the ammo can be a little tight on that section, so you know, if you want to save it for the second phase of this, you're more than welcome to do so. Yeah, this guy nearly kills me, but I managed to take him out. Even though they are frustrating enemies, they can be taken out just like any other enemy with headshots. Now you see when those doors open up, that's when the second phase starts, so even though I die here, it does restart at the checkpoint, or it creates a new checkpoint. So that is pretty helpful. Now what I did was go up these stairs, and then that's where you see the M32 hammer. You get 8 shots, which is very useful, and I do try and use that. Now even though it's a pretty powerful weapon, it still takes 2 hits to kill them. So one possible strategy is to trigger the skull phase, whatever you want to call that, using a different weapon, and then saving the M32 for when they're in that kind of extra skull phase. I just say screw it, and I end up burning through all my ammo. I think once the music is done, you can go ahead and head on down the elevator to the next section. Yeah, and I didn't even notice that they also left an RPG there. So definitely give you some options and tools to deal with them, but tricky nonetheless. But this is probably not the most frustrating section. A few minutes down, I'll show you the section that really did it in for me.
Come back here, you son of a bitch!
Now, I thought to myself that there was a treasure back here, so I head back, but it actually turns out that the treasure is in the second half of this section. So I'll show you where that is, but you're going to want to follow a tablet, and then there's going to be a bunch of hallucination, freaky deaky stuff going on.
You're dead! You hear me? You're dead! You come back here, you...
We're going to see Nathan do a little flashback to Cartagena.
Where the hell am I? It's Cartagena. I haven't been here since I was a kid. What's going on with me? Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. It can't be happening.
Now, thankfully, since I know what I'm supposed to do here, I won't have those same issues of dying. Although I still got worried that I would die. I'm like, let me go.
What?
Oh no, Sully. Not you.
No. No.
Now I wonder what would happen if you just let Sully, or if you don't pull the trigger on this, but I didn't want to take that chance.
No.
So I went ahead and pulled the trigger.
Oh no, what is this?
So now this is the point when he's kind of extra wobbly that you want to head back in here. And then you're going to go ahead and pick up treasure number 98. We got 3 more to go. We are almost there.
Everything's moving. I gotta get out. Gotta get out of here. No, no, no. No. Can't do this. What is this? What's happening?
Now I think I end up going to the right. Or, can't really remember here, but yeah, I go to the right, realize it's a dead end.
There's no way.
I'm like, where am I supposed to go? But kind of worked out that I did because I got some good weapons out of it. But you're meant to go straight ahead.
There's no way. No way out. Oh, no. I'm gonna kill him.
Ugh, very annoying that I missed there.
Killed Sully. I'll kill you. You killed Sully.
After playing through this game, I definitely need to go get the soundtrack for this and listen to it. It's a great soundtrack. Now again, like an idiot, I run all the way around. Totally forgot I even did this. Yeah, you can tell by the video length, even though this chapter is kind of short, it takes me so long to get through it because I'm like, where do I go? And then also certain sections where I died a lot. There's actually a point where I thought to myself, should I do this on the brutal difficulty? And then I'm like, I don't know if I have the time for it. So I kind of give up on that dream. Alright, toss a couple grenades there. Thankfully triggers that. That actually worked out pretty well. So that section wasn't too bad. It's this next section that was easily the most controller throwing inducing section. I'm going to show you the cut on this, but basically the way it finally worked out for me was when I went to the right to pick up the sniper. And I had to kind of use the sniper just because it is, a more kind of powerful weapon. And at least has the ability to two-tap the enemies, so. Yeah, but I tried this so many times, and eventually, I guess you could say it just kind of came down to luck that I was able to make it through here. But this was not a fun section. It's just a very enclosed area, and with the enemies kind of bouncing around back and forth, it makes it really tricky. I think after all that, I finally managed to make my way through. I know there is that sniper on this left-hand side, and that was another strategy I tried for a while, and even the RPG strategy, but on this difficulty, I couldn't even sometimes get to the snipers or the RPGs without being killed, so yeah, for sure, it was a very frustrating section.
Sully! Hey, Sully!
Thankfully, that's the last combat section for this chapter, and there's pretty much just a puzzle that you're going to want to get through, which is fairly easy to do. You're going to drop the water down and then stare at your reflection and follow your reflection to help turn the cogs. And you see how Nathan goes, that reflection on the bottom, he's going to the right wheel. And even though I said that, I totally did the opposite.
Oh my god.
Now, before we finish off this chapter, look to your left here. Pick up treasure number 99. We are 2 away from the end, my friends. But that's pretty much the end of this chapter. We're just going to go down some stairs and trigger a cutscene before starting chapter 22. Once again, I want to thank everyone for watching these videos. Any feedback you can give me would be fantastic. I would love to keep making them and making them better, making them more enjoyable and worth your time. So let me know. But until then, I will see you in the next chapter. And as always, stay beautiful.